The tradition of the Berserkers is simply a tradition that we could call a totemic tradition. And just like other cultures in our world had totem animals, we know them particularly well from Northern America, our forebears did too. They had totem animals. And the idea was that you could take the life force of an animal and use it for sorcerous purposes. The tradition of having totem animals is age-old. It's from the Stone Age, and it originates in the bear cult, the oldest religion ever, the origin of all other religion. And the idea is, of course, that you kill an animal, and then you take the life force of the animal, and then you can use this to protect yourself. So you take the animal's skin outside your own, and by doing so, you take the life force of the animal outside your own. So when you are hit, it's the animal that gets hit and not you, so you are protected by the animal. That's the idea of the totem animal. In Scandinavia, the most common animal to use as a totem animal in this context was the bear, or the wolf. We have the Berserkers, but we also have the Ulvheidin, which means simply wolf skin. And in the Celtic speaking parts of Europe, they commonly use the boar for the same purpose. In southern Europe, they use the lion or the leopard, the cave lion that is. And of course in older times they had cave lions elsewhere in Europe as well. And they probably used them as totem animals. And the reason why they use these wild, ferocious, dangerous animals as totem animals is of course that these animals are strong. And again I have to point at the bear cult, with the bear being the most important animal in the European tradition. And the idea that they went berserk is of course actually related to the tradition of the Berserkers, because they believed that they were invulnerable. They had the protection of the life force of the bear. This tradition is of course from the Stone Age, and when we move to the Viking Age, the tradition has changed, and these sorcerers with totem animals are no longer the kings themselves. They are instead they're reduced to being just champions for the king. So the Berserkers did exist, they did have special powers, or they did believe that they had special powers, and one of them was invulnerability in battle, because they wore the life force of the animal outside their own as protection. And this is very much historical. You can find sources supporting what I say easily, and you can look at the fairy tales, you can look at the mythology, you can look at the traditions, and of course you have to compare the different European mythologies. You cannot just look at one of them. You have to look at all of them, and you have to understand that all of them are actually not the same, but they have the same origin, and that they were originally the exact same mythology, the exact same religion.